And we are live. If you are not watching live, you are watching the recording of this. It is 6:59, so that means you can fast forward 1 minute into the video. For the next 1 minute, we'll be just sitting around doing nothing while we're waiting for 7 o'clock to roll around. I'm going to try to start from now on right on time. I'm wearing my ukulele Fight Club hat that a friend of mine in the orchestra gave to me, and so if you want to fight, I'm ready. My name's Gary, Jolly Roger Ukulele, and we're going through the entire program and re-recording basically every single thing that's in it, and updating all the sheet music and doing all kinds of nice things over there at the website. Books 1, 2 are free, and then there's an arpeggio book on there that's the best arpeggio book ever written. I'm a little bit biased because I wrote it, and well, it's not quite as good as the one Bach wrote, but it's pretty good, and that's also free on the website. And then of course we have the members section, which contains 5 times that amount of stuff. So I'd love for you to get involved in whatever way makes sense to you, and get to playing ukulele. The program is designed to get you all the way up to where you're a composer and a teacher and an arranger and all that stuff. But it teaches you how to play ukulele in the process of getting you there. So hopefully all that makes sense, and it's fun to get started. Double checking my sound settings, my video settings look fine, and everything else looks okay. And so let's talk about what we got going on this week. We record these sessions live, and if you want to participate in chat, you can. You just log into your Gmail account or your YouTube account, and then you can use the chat bar. Most people don't. Most people look at these recordings later, and so if you're doing that, welcome, and you're in good company. Now tonight we were going to do a handful of things, and we're about to clear some stuff out of the thing. Most importantly, we have to revisit Frère Jacques and make sure that that piece of sheet music is making sense to you. And then we're going to do a little bit more with singing and strumming. Strum and hum is the phrase that I heard from an Australian person today, which I hadn't heard before, and I'm super excited about that. So we'll just do some strum and hum stuff, and then we will take a look at next week's lesson. Well, we won't really look at it very hard because it's the same as this week's lesson, more or less. I will warn you, I'm about to do some singing, and so that is not my thing at all, but what are you going to do? You got to, some people like to sing, and so I do just enough to make sure that people know they should be doing it instead of me. Okay, 2 ukulele tunes, G, C, E, A. We also do baritone ukulele here. We're going to play it on Frère Jacques on ukulele. If you're on baritone, you need to make an A chord, which looks like that. Index and middle on the 3rd and 4th strings. And you're going to strum 4 beats per measure, except for the last measure, which is 3 strums. Okay? And you only know that because the song is over and you should just stop strumming. Okay? I'm going to play the melody. You're going to play with me. 1, 2, 3, play. 0, 2, 4, 0, 0, 2, 4, 0. 7, 4, 5, 7, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, open. 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, open. 1st string, 2nd string, 1st string, 1st string, 2nd string, 1st string to the top. That last note ring out. Hopefully, that's pretty fast speed I was taking it at. If you're a brand new player, know that you don't have to play it that fast. I just played it that fast because we got a lot to get through tonight. On YouTube, check right here, somewhere, probably right about here. How do I make my finger work? There's going to be a little cog, a little cog thing, and you can slow the video down to 0.75, and that will make it easier to play along to. Okay, now I'm going to put on my baritone ukulele. If you're on ukulele, your chord's going to look like you're going to take a bar and put it all up and down the 4th fret and put your pinky up here on the 8th fret. That's how you make an E chord on ukulele. I'm going to play this on baritone, and so you as a ukulele player are backing me up as the melody player on Frère Jacques. Okay, so same thing. If you're on ukulele, 4 strums per measure, and then if you're on baritone, you're playing the melody, and then we'll play it twice through. Okay, 1, 2, ready, play. 0, 2, 4, 0, 0, 2, 4, 0, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. First string, second string, first string, first string, second string, first string again. Your sheet music on both ukulele and baritone says at the very end you're supposed to put a chord on the end. Okay, and that's something you want to do, because in the long run we're going to be doing lots of that, and so it's a good time to be aware that that's sitting down there. All right, so you know the E chord, and you know your A chord, and you know how to play from melody, how to play from tablature. So super exciting. All right, so next on our list of things to get done tonight is the key of A strummers. Now, the last week you were supposed to finish up the 2 chords section, and so I'm going to pull up my strummers and I think I'm going to play on ukulele. Most of the people who watch these videos play ukulele. You guys that are baritone players know I love you, and I think everybody should own a baritone ukulele. I don't know why they don't, but it's something that's you should get. But when you only want to have one instrument, make it a ukulele. If you're only going to have one, make it a ukulele. If you're going to only have, unless you're a man and you have a low voice, then you really should have a baritone. Or if you have enormous hands, you need a baritone. But let's review our chords on ukulele. And if you're on baritone, you know to do your chord shapes. Okay, so if I'm going to play an A chord on ukulele, I got index and middle. I'm going to strum that. And then we're going to go to a D chord. We'll put index, middle, and ring. Okay. And then to get to the E7, this finger slides back and this finger drops down. E7. And then back to A. Okay. If you're on baritone, you have the same chords, but different fingering. So your A chord looks like that. A chord, da 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 da. Your D chord looks like this. Okay. Index, middle, and then ring out there. Make sure your index is on top. And then your E7 is easy. You just one finger there, right? All right. So we don't need to do the 1 chord songs. That wasn't your assignment this week. Your assignment this week was to knock out the 2 chord songs, the ones with the green headlines on them. So let me find some that are less annoying. Okay, Itsy Bitsy Spider, and that's on the 2nd page. I think I put them all in alphabetical order. F H H I L S. Look at me, alphabetical. All right, so second page in the green headlines alphabetically, Itsy Bitsy Spider. Remember, you put your chord shape on and then just play along. I'm about to sing. It's never good. See, let's see what we could come up with. One, two, three. The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. Okay, now, you noticed this is always going to be the same activity as getting these on in the right place. This is, you already understand the activity. We get it every time you get a new chord, your hand fights you. But this is really it. This is not. There's not that much more to talk about over here. There's a couple of things, but for the most part, this is the main thing you will be doing over there: is pushing down on some strings and holding it. Here's where the music comes from. Now, this entire song, strumming down, right? That's just a choice, and you should make sure you meaningfully. You thoughtfully make your choices. Okay, so let's try this again. Not again, but talk about it. So I did it. The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Okay, so I'm just doing straight thumb down. Now let's just jazz it up. Index finger up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So it's ukulele strum along, hum and sing, hum and strum, you are going to do this mostly, okay? Because everybody else is doing it, and you figure why not. Okay, so now you're going to go twice as fast here, but you're not going to sing it any faster. 1 and 2 and 3. The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain, and the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. Okay, doesn't that sound exciting? That's a very super cool, very normal strum pattern, right? And there's entire websites and books and all that stuff dedicated to fancying this up. Don't think you need to do that. You really don't. If you are in a group where everybody's going to have exactly the same strum pattern, right? Whoever's the leader of the group will teach everybody the strum pattern, and then you follow it. And then when you see the video of yourselves afterwards, when you did the performance, 3/4 of you will be doing exactly what you're supposed to do, and there will always be a handful of people doing exactly not that. That's what I love about ukulele group videos. Is there's always the main group is most everybody's sort of on the strum pattern, and then there's always a few outliers, and who knows what they're doing, right? It's complicated and it's hard, and so it's very normal. Now, let's do the two other strum patterns we talked about, or right hand patterns is a better way to put it. We're going to do the 4-finger pluck. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, if you're on baritone and you're holding your chord shapes, this is the same activity. You just hold your chord shape and then 4-finger pluck. Okay. We'll do London bridges. Let's put the A chord on. Okay. Baritones, ukuleles. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. Okay, so that's the claw pluck. Okay, and you're gonna use that a lot. You're gonna use that a lot. I just put up a new ensemble arrangement for large group orchestra, and there's two types of strums. One is the thumb strum and one is the plucking, right? Nowhere in there did I do the index up and down, because honestly that's I hate that strum. No, I don't hate it, it's just that it's been played in my mind. Now for the second verse, we're going to fancy it up. We're going to do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, ring. Just get it going. Thumb, index, index, middle, ring. Now I'm going down with my thumb, up with the index, up with the middle, up with the ring. Okay, and they all have their own string. I'm not using the pinky. I will never use the pinky for anything. If you're a purist, you just use it to hang out in outer space. If you're like most ukulele players, you use it to camp out. Put your I'll speak English now. You put your pinky on the soundboard right there, and it kind of anchors your hand. Now some purists are like, oh, you shouldn't touch the soundboard. That's because they went to a class and somebody told them not to. Okay, it's fine. All right. Again, with your A chord, and be ready to change to your E chord. 1 and 2, a little faster. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1, 2. Here we go. What's the verse? My Fair Lady. Build it up with silver and gold. Here we go. Build it up with silver and gold change. Silver and gold. Silver and gold change. Build it up with silver and gold. My fair lady. And doesn't that sound fancy and nice? You're not doing anything. You're just not strumming down with your thumb or with doing this. You're making just a beautiful arpeggio. And once you've learned arpeggios and you start listening to music on the radio or on this 800,000 CDs and songs you've bought in your lifetime, and you start listening in the background, this is a very normal thing to hear in the background. And now that you know how to do it, you're like, wait a minute, I paid somebody to do that, and that's easy, right? So here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And let's do that second verse again. Build it up with silver and gold. Silver and gold, silver and gold, build it up with silver and gold, my fair lady. Okay, so that is the alternate version of claw plucking. This, and there's this, and then there's this. Now, if we combine the two, we can do a kind of a cool thing. We're going to do thumb, pluck, thumb, pluck, thumb, pluck, thumb, pluck. So instead of plucking everybody at once, and instead of playing all 4 of these in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to play 1, and then pull that. That's everybody, right? So the bottom 3. So thumb, strings 1, 2, 3, and 1, 3, 2, and 1. This is what cowboy players do. Okay, it's take the key and have some tea. Okay, put your A chord on. Ready, go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Take the key and have some tea. Change. Have some tea. Have some tea. Take the key and have some tea, my fair lady. Okay, so then you wrap it up at the end of the song with all of the possible ways of playing it. Again, it's not rocket science, right? There are lots and lots of alternate versions of this over here, but they're all built off of the same 4 things. Either your thumb going down, your index finger going up and down, all 4 fingers claw plucking the 4 strings, or the 4 fingers plucking them in some type of a pattern. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, and as you're working on your own on these songs, start messing around with other patterns. What if you did thumb, ring, index, middle, thumb, ring, thumb, middle, index, ring. One of my friends, Kari, is an expert at this picking business, and so every single song she's doing some kind of different little pattern, and it's really fun to listen to her. All right, so that's what we wanted to get through with the 2 chord songs. Now this week, here's your plan. Okay, you want to finish the book, and we're going to do a couple of 3 chord songs tonight. We'll do a couple more next week, and then we dive into the Key of C book. Let me go over to Jolly Roger and look at book 1 lessons. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. Come back here, go here, book 1. Okay, so when we finish up the strummers in A, our next set of tasks is to do the strummers in C. And you're going to see on there it's the same, more of the same stuff. It's just that your chords are a C chord, an A minor chord, an F chord, and then you got this G chord. Now, when you do your G chord, index fingers on top and ring fingers out front, middle's on the bottom. Okay, that's your G chord. Okay, and there's on that book there's also a G7. Okay, and you'll see the G7 is easier than the G chord, but you have to learn both. And so you'll dive into that this week, and then next week we'll play through some of those songs. I teach these these songs in A first because it teaches your hand much more effectively than the ones in C. The ones in C give you false hope. I want you to have good hope. I want you to have quality fingering first, and then when we get to C, A minor, F, and G, you'll understand, hey man, this index finger needs to be above the middle finger. A lot of people end up putting that thing upside down. I see it on TV when they have somebody playing the ukulele, they do the G upside down, and it's like, did you not call somebody to have them teach you how to play before you put this in a movie? They didn't. The baritone chords, of course, your shapes are different. Same concept, though. On baritone, key of C is actually harder. You guys have it a little easier in the key of A and a little harder in the key of C. Ukulele, for the most part, it's easier in C than in A. But learning the G chord right off the bat is usually doesn't go that well for people. So let's take one of these 3 chord songs in this book, and then you'll be ready for the book songs in the key of C. Let's go to I'm a Little Teapot. Okay, I'm a Little Teapot has a nice mixture of A, D's, and E7. So grab your A chord, and let's just walk through it. I'm a little teapot. Now you got to get to D. So now strategize around this. Use your brain. Don't just go wildly grabbing for it. Think about what you have to do. Middle finger drops down a string. Index finger goes up and over. And ring finger adds on. Okay? There's your D chord. Short and to get back, index finger goes down. Middle finger comes up. Ring finger comes up. Stout. To get to E7, index finger comes up, middle finger goes down, ring finger gets added on at the bottom. Here is my, to get to A chord, middle finger up, index finger down, ring finger up, handle, and back to E7. Here is my, back to A. Stout. When I get all steamed up, back over to D. Remember, drop, move, move. Hear me, back to A. Shout, tip me over and E7. Pour me, and then back to A. Out. When I'm learning a new song and there are chords that have to be learned, I get that granular with my study of it, because I want to do the least amount of moving around possible. I don't want to yank chords off and slam them back on. I want to think about how do I get from one to the other with a purposeful, least amount of effort possible program. Okay, and so I always sit down and I strategize how to get around on chords. And as you get to be a more proficient player, you get weirder and weirder chords, and you really do have to think about, even into today's thing, we're going to play Jolly Roger in the book 2 stuff, and there's a place where I got to go from this B flat up here to this B flat, and boy, you got to know how to get there with the least amount of fanfare, because it's going to eat your lunch if you don't. All right, nice and slow. I'm going to do 4-finger pluck. Okay, do whatever you want, whatever makes you happy. From an A chord, ready, go. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here my spout. When I get all steamed up, hear me shout. Tip me over and pour me out. Okay, so that's just a very simple version of it, right? If you go to a ukulele strum along and they hand this to you, I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle, here is my spout. When I get all steamed up, hear me shout. Tip me over and pour me out. Okay, same song, everything's exactly the same. It's just that it's a way different feeling song when you do it that way. And then, of course, if we did an arpeggio, I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle and here is my spout. When I get all steamed up, hear me shout. Tip me over and pour me out. Okay, so 3 different strum patterns on that one, or strum ideas, right hand ideas, whatever, plucking ideas. And what we've learned is how to get from A to D to E7. Okay, so next week let's make sure that we'll do On Top of Spaghetti, and then if you guys want to do anything else particularly on here, we will look at that. So next week, last week in this book, and then if I will just if you don't have in front of you, it's okay. The key of C strummers in here is, let me grab those key of C strummers. What did I do in my book one? Key of C strummers. The big thing, again, the big thing, you got 4 new chords: a C chord, A minor chord, F chord, and G chord. Okay, on baritone, C chord is here, A minor, you add a ring finger on, F, you're not going to like it, bar there, that's your F chord, and then finally G chord is here. Okay, so you've already had to deal with 1 bar chord baritones, and now you get your next one. Your F chord is super hard, and ukulele players, we kind of put it off a little while for you before you have to do this shape, which is a B flat for you. The F chord on baritone's a little easier than on ukulele, just because your frets are a little farther apart, and you can get a little bit further away from the nut here, which is what makes B flat hard. So you'll have those chords. We will probably, I love playing Waltzing Matilda. It takes a minute, but it's certainly a very fun one to do. And then we might do Kookaburra, because we get to use the A minor in that. And the other songs are in the A book as well. So I think all these songs. Nah, and Drunken Sailor is not in the other book. And Waltzing Matilda is not. So maybe we'll just play that one page, just that first page of the key of C strummers. You have a D minor in there, which is kind of fun. Here's your F. Just add your ring finger on, and it becomes a D minor. If you're on baritone, you have a whole new chord shape to learn, right? It's this shape. That's D minor on baritone. So you've got plenty to keep you busy. 3 and 4 chord songs here, and we'll finish up that part of the activities next week, which is the strumming stuff. Then we'll start taking a look at chord charts and how to use those. You're very lucky to know me, because the 2 chord charts I'm going to give you are fantastic for lots of things, including, and most importantly, composing. And so you can take my chord charts with your ukulele and you can start composing right away, and I'll show you how to use those next week. And then we just keep marching forward. We're going to learn how to make better bar chords, play major scales and all that stuff. So plan on wrapping up the A strumming book and doing the C strumming stuff next week. I'll put that up on the website so you won't forget. And then let me see what else I had planned for you guys tonight. I think that's it. Gary, don't go there. All right. Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's talk about for He's a Jolly Good Fellow. Last week we went over, I think, in enough detail with, well, actually, let's do it one thing. Let's go to Drunken Sailor in book 2. So grab your Drunken Sailor version, and let's take a look at Drunken Sailor. All right, I'm actually going to do it on, now let's do one on ukulele and one on baritone. How about that? let's pick it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's seven possible chord pairings. And I'm going to make Jolly Roger tell us which ones to do. There's a random number generator on the front of Jolly Roger, and it says do number 2. So ukulele people, you're going to do B minor and A. Here's B minor, a bar on 2, and then your ring finger is up on the 4th string here. Okay, so bar on 2, up and down, ring finger over here on the 4th fret of the top string. There's your B minor. If you need to put your middle finger on top of that, you'll see me doing that. Plunk, it's not doing anything anyway. You can push this down. You won't learn any bad habits by doing that, and you'll get cleaner sound. Okay, there's your B minor, and it goes to A. Okay, same A we just used in the other book. B minor's hard, A. Okay, and baritones, you're going to play. This is your B minor. It looks like this. Index, middle, ring. It's a little stair step, and then you're going to go to A, which is over here. Okay, which you already learned. Okay, so let's do it first on ukulele, and then we'll do it on baritone. Okay, 1, 2. Keep it simple. Keep this part simple. 1, 2, ready, go. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Lie in the morning. Okay, so, and then we should do let's do the other part, but let's go to arpeggio peg. Okay, 1, 2, ready, go. Hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises early in the morning. Okay, so there you go. That's B minor and A. Now, if you have I'm going to do the same thing, exactly the same chords, but now if you're playing on ukulele, we'll be backing you up with baritone, and if you were already playing with baritone, we're going to play together. Okay, and should we use the same chords? Now that's dumb. Let's use 2 new chords. Okay, and we'll use the random number generator on Jolly Roger and see what it says to do. Number 24, we don't have 24 chord choices. We don't have 30 chord choices. Hit it again. 25. I don't have this. 3. Let's do number 3. All right, so ukulele, we're doing C minor, just bar on the bottom 3 strings of the 3rd fret, and then you're going to go to B flat. Okay, so slide back, bar on 1, and then middle finger on this 3rd string, 2nd fret, ring finger up here. That's going to be really hard. So my suggestion would be not to put your ring finger up here if you haven't done B flats before. Just a bar, middle finger on the 3rd string. Okay. And that's what it'll sound like for you. It's going to actually, you're playing a B flat 7 if you do that. Or if you can get your ring finger up there, okay, then that's your B flat. So C minor, B flat, C minor, B flat. I promise it's the hardest chords you're going to have to do in a long time. Baritones, we've got C minor, index, middle, and pinky. Going to R B flat. Okay, those are hard. Okay, so Jolly Roger's random number generator hates us. Let's give it a try. 1, 2. Oh, and by the way, if you can't get the chords, just strum your ukulele. It's fine. Use it as a percussion instrument. 1, 2, 3, 4. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Lie in the morning. Hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises, hooray. Up she rises early in the morning. All right, so you get the idea, right? You're just picking up 2 chord settings and going through them and practicing them. Again, we're just trying to learn a bunch of chords here in this little section of the book 1. Most ukulele players that's all they ever end up doing is chords and singing, which is fine, but we've got to get a higher level set of chords together and a little bit better technique on our left and right hands in order to play the more complicated sheet music that's coming up. All right, so you got your workout. I have to take a look at for He's a Jolly Good Fellow. I happen to have a baritone in my face. I'm on my bod, so I'm going to teach it on baritone, but it's the same for ukulele. Okay, so we're going to talk about your hand shapes and what you need to do. So first thing, this is book 2. Now, if you're brand new, you're playing the melody. 1 oh oh, for he's a jolly good fellow. 1 oh oh oh, 3 oh 1 oh oh 3 3 3 1 3 oh 1 1 3 oh 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 3 oh 1, and then all at the 5 5 5 3 3 3 1 3 1. Okay, and so those 5s show up a couple of times. Now you notice I took my hand and went all the way up to 5 to put my index finger there. Only because anytime I see 5s, I'm suspecting there's going to be a 7 showing up nearby, and in this case, it didn't show up for us. So that's why I naturally went to that 5, anticipating I'd see a 7 or an 8 nearby, and I didn't in this case. But look down at measure 16, 17, 18, measure 18. For he's a jolly good fellow, which nobody, and there's that 7 I thought would be there, can deny. So if I'm on 5, 5, 7, and 8 are easy to cover, and that's going to come up in your life. It's going to come up a lot, and so just when you see a 5, if you haven't pre-read the whole thing, you might just plan on going up to 5, and then I got to reach back to get those 3. Right, so that is just playing up to 5th position. So that's what you're doing if you're on melody. If you're on chords or on tough uke, you got to think about your shapes. Okay, you start with that 1. Now we're going to go to that F shape for baritone. I'm sorry, F shape for ukulele, C shape for baritone. He's a jolly. Now when you get to the 3 in measure 1, use your pinky. 3 oh, and then you're going to go to the F shape on baritone, B flat shape on ukulele. I recommend you always use a bar for a B flat because it's going to be a lot. When you get up to these higher positions on the neck, you're going to need a full bar anyway. So use a full bar now and just get comfy with it. However, lots and lots of times you'll see players use a half bar here with index and ring. You'll see me doing that a lot because that's how I was trained. It's fine, but this is better. Just use a full bar, okay? For that F chord for baritone and B flat chord for ukulele. Okay, so you're gonna go bum, bum. That's pretty hard to do, so practice it. Hit the open string. Now you're going to go on to C7 or G7, which is, in this case, is you don't even play the 7th, right? It's just going to be 003, 1, 3, and I love it when you use your pinky for 3s. Because that means that you're leaving these other fingers closer together where they can get more work done later. So if you see a 3 and you can possibly get your pinky there, that's a better strategy. Well, for the first string and the second string, when I can use my pinky, I try to. Okay, measure 4, you got the same shape there, that's C or F shape, and then it repeats just the same as the beginning there. Notice in measure 5 you get a much more complete C7 slash whatever it is on ukulele, right? F7. You get this one, which is a F shape with your 3 here. Now, in this case, I say use your ring finger. Isn't that cool? A 7th sound. That's not where the song can possibly end. It's got this really weird tone in it, and that's where your pinky comes in. And then resolve to this B flat. Now here's the hard part, okay? So you go to this B flat, you've got to immediately slide it up to 5 and put this shape, baritone C shape, ukulele F shape right in front of it. Okay, so this is a B flat, and this is a B flat. They're the same chord. One is hard to do down here. One's a little less hard to do up here. And then hit the 5 again. You're already having a bar on it, so just hit it. And then you go right back down to this shape down here. Pinky. Okay, so now what you're going to see the rest of the song is more of the same types of shapes. Okay, so if I hit which, and we've seen this shape already, nobody, all the way up here, can, D, all the way back, nine, boom, decorative note. Don't skip over decorative notes. Hit them harder than you would the other notes. Okay, because it's sending the note that we got at this transitional moment. Opens. Okay, same idea again. And then back again. Okay, we're on measure 13. Bong. Whoop. And again, remember this weird C7 or F7 for you on ukulele. You don't change your F. Leave it sitting right where it is. Just add your ring finger. And then add your pinky. Regular B flat and high B flat. And then this is part I love. Slide this up. You're on 3, right? You got your F shape or C shape with your pinky on 3. And then slide your pinky up to 7. Slide it up to 8. Add your bar on at 5. Okay. So when you're thinking about playing this song, one, it's supposed to be fun, but it doesn't have to be fast. When we sing it, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, that's going to be way too fast for you to get from here there, right? So go much slower and enjoy that process of getting your chords on and then plucking around to find the melody. It will make you sound great. So we'll play through that top to bottom next week on both instruments, and that should take care of book 2. So the plan here is, if you haven't mastered Frère Jacques yet, and I want you to memorize it because you're going to teach it to somebody else pretty soon, do that this week. Then we'll finish Key of A Strummers. That's the A, D, and E7 book. We won't do the 4th page of that because it's really demoralizing with 4 chords in the key of A for baritones. And then we will also play through the book with the key of C strummers. So lesson number 8, we'll finish that up. Book 2, won't do anything more on Drunken Sailor. We'll do For He's a Jolly Good Fellow. And then let me just peek so you know. Let me go to here, book 2, lessons, book 2. So For He's a Jolly Good Fellow will not take us too long this next week. It's not a hard song. Once you're in book 2, it's very hard if you're in book 1. For He's a Jolly Good Fellow, book 2, and then next week we'll look at Happy Birthday Blinky style, which is not regular Happy Birthday. It's a Happy Birthday in a 4-beat pattern, so it's kind of a lot. And so anyway, if you've watched this video, thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Here's the thing that I can tell you about learning ukulele the hard way, which is what I teach. At first it feels a little overwhelming, and then you get pretty good pretty fast, and the key is not to stop there. You're going to be terrible in the beginning, then you're going to get pretty good, and then what happens is people tend to get comfy and happy and sort of just be in that space. There's this next space where you're talking about correct tone, where you're talking about correct technique, where you're talking about minimal movement, where you're talking about less tension, where you're talking about storytelling. That's even a next level above that. And so there's plenty of stuff to go beyond other than just getting the notes on the page out of your machine. That in itself is a pretty tough challenge, but you're going to get there, right? If you just keep showing up, you're going to get there. Where we got to go to that next place is how to get these notes to tell a story in a meaningful and thoughtful way. And that's where all of these techniques come together that we talk about. And so keep showing up. I appreciate your time. And we're going to change the world of ukulele one person at a time. And check out the other resources on the website. In addition, I do guitar and harmonica and all that stuff. It all is sort of the same. It just all sort of plays together. Harmonica is a little different because it's a different approach to an instrument, but guitar and ukulele both have the same basic concepts that we got to get where we're good at them. Guitar, of course, is quite a bit more gangly and hard to hold on to when there's more strings and more frets, and it's just can be a little bit more overwhelming than this instrument. Not that this one isn't overwhelming, but this one you're going to master. That guitar you don't master, you learn to exist with it for the most part. So have a wonderful week. I will see you next Tuesday, and consider getting a membership because then you can play the good stuff with us on Wednesday. Have a great night. Peace.